What's going on, everyone? Kai-Fi here, back with another video. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to use the gradient tool in Photoshop. So the gradient tool, as described here, if you hover over it, creates a gradual blend between colors. So I find this useful when you have a solid background, you want to give it a more interesting look, make it look cooler, more enticing. This is a good option, or good tool to use. If you don't see the gradient tool right away, you might have to right click on the paint bucket tool and select the gradient tool. So let's get right into it. So how you use the gradient tool is you set a starting point with your first click and drag to create a line, and then release, and it will create the gradient. So it'll use the two colors you have selected in your color picker. So right now I have white and red. So as you can see, it creates a blend going from white to red. If you want to create a more graduated blend, you can make the line further. If you want to create a shorter blend and a sharper blend, a sharper transition between the two colors, you can create a shorter line as seen here. There are also different preset colors and gradients for you. So as you can see, if you select this little drop down, we can select the blues and click this one, and we're going to be using this blue gradient instead of the two colors in our color picker. So let's go back to our basic one, and then in addition to this, it's also good to remember that you can create the starting point outside of the canvas and create the ending point outside if you want a smoother blend, and to create the blend even longer than just the canvas. So you can start it outside of the specs of the canvas as seen here, or even start one in and then start one out, or end out. In addition to this linear, so right now we're using the let's see, here's the radial gradient. So we were using the, let's see what they call it, I believe it's, okay, linear gradient, which creates the linear gradient. As you can see from the little icon, there is a radial gradient, there's an angle gradient, reflected gradient, and diamond gradient. So these are all just going to create different types. So as you can see, this radial one is going to create a circle in the middle. You can kind of see that in the little logo. This angle one is going to create a sharp angled line depending on where we draw our line, so it's going to follow that. This what's it called again? Reflected gradient is going to do, sorry, we don't even have it selected, is going to create like two sides, one red, the middle is going to be white, and then the other side is going to be red as well. So it's a little reflection. And then this one is again going to create, it's kind of like the radial gradient, but it creates a star in the middle as opposed to a circle. So these are cool to mess around with and try out. I'm going to go back to the linear gradient and show you one more thing, and that is changing the gradient type from solid to noise. So that's going to create a noisier blend with jagged lines of color in it, I guess you could say. As you can see, I mean, this is cool for some scenarios. It's obviously not very smooth. You can change the smoothness, or the roughness, pardon, to a lower roughness to create a smoother blend, or you can increase it to create a rougher blend. So let's say 90. So whatever works for you, whatever fits the scenario you're in. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. As I said, it can add lots of detail and make your background look a little better and a little more professional or unique. So I enjoy using the gradient filter. It's fun to mess around with and try out different things. So yeah, I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Bye.